Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm finally getting back around to tinkering with the E28 over here. Finally gonna start messing with this methanol kit that I picked up a few months back. Just been long procrastinating, picking a day to start messing with it. Just figured I'd give you guys a quick video showing you where I'm at on install. Kind of just winging it as I'm going here. The kit seems pretty straightforward. I did take the full-size spare I had in here out. Figured I'd rather have some race car parts in there than that. Not like I'm dailying this thing anymore. But we got a little over a gallon size tank here. Kind of mounted right down to the bottom of there. Gave me most of the hardware, except for these two bolts I had that were longer, but got it in there pretty secure. Same with the pump down here. Gonna start some wiring next. Haven't really seen anyone else that's done it on an E28. Couldn't really find any better spots. I know you usually want this pump lower than that reservoir, and you want it all to be lower than where your intake piping is going to be up in the front of the car. And plus I didn't want to try and be awkwardly filling this thing up if I shoved it in that back corner over there. But kit seems pretty cool. Download some instructions on my phone. Comes with the full wiring harness for you. Like I said, give you most of the hardware to mount everything. Got the injection nozzle here, the tubing, some kind of loom stuff to go over the harness. Controller seems pretty sweet. Seems pretty fail-safe as well. It'll kind of flash these error codes to you if there's something going on through this LED I'm going to mount in the dash somewhere. And you could kind of control when you want this Met to start actuating at one amount of boost, when do you want it to start spraying full power. So I like that it's a bit variable. That's not just full spray the second you kind of creep into it. But yeah, otherwise that's it. It's the AEM V3 kit over here. I'm gonna keep going at it here today, and we'll see where we go. Maybe we'll be doing some tuning by tonight. Alrighty, so take two here on where we're at with this meth kit install. Got everything wired up. The wiring harness they gave me was not long enough to go from kind of the front of the dash where I'm mounting the controller to get everything back here, so I did have to add some generic crimp connections here. Obviously I'm going to clean this up quite a bit. I'm kind of going to get a loom of some sort to cover all these wires and tuck them in along with the factory harness over there. Guy before me had a trailer hitch on here, so I was able to splice right into power ground for everything right back here instead of running separate stuff up to the battery up front. So I'm gonna kind of neaten all this up, but so far it does activate, turns on. Had some washer fluid laying around, so they want you to clear the lines out when you first get it going. Make sure there's no debris in the line, nothing that's going to clog that injector up. So I filled it with some washer fluid and water mix. Show you guys how that's kind of going. But E28, there's a grommet back inside of there. I was able to run all the wiring right through there. Coming right out to here. Ran a few zip ties. I have some of this kind of like protecting wire loom stuff, I guess you'd call it. Added right here where anything would be rubbing. I got some more coming in that I'm going to add to a few more spots, but for the most part it all sits in here pretty nice along with the factory wiring through the car going down underneath here. So you can tuck it in through there, going up through here, and then right in the water line right into the grommet for the main engine harness going in through under there. A little hard to see. Like I said, I got some neating up to do. This is the controller for it. Had a little bit of extra slack up over here that I'm gonna kind of tuck up, rearrange a little bit. I still need to add a vacuum line to it. Then once I add this vacuum line, just gotta port the hole here today. Fill that hole in the intake. We'll be good to go. So here's the line coming up. I'll show you guys again how that thing activates here in a minute. But I'm probably gonna run the line along with this fuel line, then run it underneath the intake here, or along the fuel rail. Come up and put it somewhere about over here. Give it a little bit of space from that temp sensor, and AEM recommends 6 to 8 inches away from the throttle body, so should be clear from there to there. Otherwise that's it. Alrighty, we'll see what this thing does here shortly. Alright, so here's a test function of it. I'm going to run that tank empty in the back. So further basically install, they have you wire and a switch over here, turns and activates this thing. You can see when we're on, we do get a green light. A little hard to see with the light in the camera here right now. Along with, you have an LED that I installed right here. LED runs through. Kind of got to secure it in there a little better, but it'll basically flash different codes if there's an error, if you're low on fluid, there's a short, something else is going on. So a few fail safes. I'm gonna mount this guy right up along over here, basically, onto this panel. Get some double-sided tape on there. Here we are, and we press the test button. Make sure we're back on. You just basically hold that test button, and there we are, clearing out. Things look to be good, so I'm just going to keep on running that for a bit and then move on to the next steps here. Alright, we're almost live with this thing. I got nearly everything else buttoned up except for all this up here. Just finished drilling out, tapping the 1/8 fitting there for the AEM injector. Did activate it. Seems to be spraying pretty nice. Just sprayed this thing out, some compressed air, made sure there was no metal left in there. We're gonna hook it all back up. I'm gonna cut this thing to size and secure this line a little bit better. I have kind of like a loom that's gonna go over and protect this a bit. Should be coming in a day or two as well. But otherwise, I got most of the rest of it buttoned up here. Running that wiring all through the kickboards here. Ran it up and over. Got it come into over here. Got some double-sided tape, seems to be holding it pretty good. Tapped into the boost gauge over here. Just kind of teed that off and then ran that line back across inside the dash here. Got it coming up to there. And then here we are over here. This is kind of that stuff I'm talking about, that loom that I picked up. Just give it a little bit of extra protection. I got most of the stuff through the back. This thicker stuff it's all going into. Got it in most of the spots. Put some tape around some things. And through here, I kind of just made a new loom for the harness right there. Still got to clean this up a little bit, secure some of that stuff, but for the most part, we're ready to go here. So hopefully next video we'll be doing some tuning of this thing, and let's see how she does. Alrighty, YouTube, I finished up the install of the meth kit. Line's hooked up. I've been driving it for about the week, kind of tuning it on my own, going back and forth to work. I got dialed in, I think best I am gonna get it at this point. We are gonna head off to the tuner here today and get onto a dyno once and for all and see what this thing puts down, see what we could dial it into. But overall install came out pretty good. It's been holding up this week. And here's what we got. Cleaned up the wiring, tucked it all pretty good. Good enough for me at least, but that's where we're at. Alrighty guys, stay tuned.